Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got...
Kyle McIntyre.
Oh, yeah, he's here. So, Kyle, new episode. What is new in your world? No,
the episode's not out yet, dude.
I was
It's not an episode.
trying something new. Anyways, what is new in your world, Kyle? What is shaking? What is grooving? What is good?
Whew, man. Not a whole lot.
Next topic. You like
Okay.
yeah, you haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. Don't worry. I might have to.
Dust-
Thanks for reminding me.
Dust that one off.
So I got a synthesizer.
Nice.
I got a Korg mini log.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the one you were talking about.
Yeah,
You got it in.
So I had looked and done some research, and I think that for a beginner synth, this is like all I need to basically kind of break in and just kind of feel it out. And it's not a bad one. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's like over the top, but it's like a good basic synth.
It's your basic bro synth. It's kind of your you're getting
bro
into
synth. Yeah, sounds like a different.
Whoa,
Sounds like a shitty style genre.
Just
Fuck.
get Hey, we saw a bro synth band the other day.
and actually he was playing one of these. So
they're definitely a bunch of bros.
I'm in the pocket. No, what's cool about this one is I didn't realize it when I bought it. He changed out all the knobs, which was pretty awesome. Actually, they're all aluminum instead of plastic, and they have like the indicator line on them instead of just being like a black line like engraved in the top and not having. It's like a black knob. The original ones are a black knob with a black line.
Yeah, so you can't.
And you're like, you couldn't see where you'd have to go and paint them all with like modeling. Like, I'm done painting my lead soldiers. Let me just start doing these.
So no, that's really cool. Yeah, because I don't know, it's a nice little upgrade.
It is. It's
you would have had to do that yourself, or find out. That
I don't know how much you spent on all those knobs too, because I actually got it for a better deal than what a lot of them are going on Reverb.
Yeah. Well, you can tire kick and be like, "Well, yeah, it's not original knobs. Sorry."
Yeah, but I didn't know. Like I could email them back. I'm like, yeah, it's working really great, but those knobs suck. I want $300 back.
I need $69 back.
Exactly.
And
69 cents. So it's cool. It's got.
Actually, I'm just gonna give you $420, baby.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good. I need to run it with headphones, but
You've been running it into the orange?
Yes, into the orange.
Nice.
I'm not doing like low dBs.
Yeah.
Blowing it up, but yeah, it's fun.
And running it like, low volumes, it's not like you're cranking it up.
No. But the thing is that thing you can't hear anything like in the lowest octave on this. Nothing. It does not come through on the amp.
Oh, really? It just can't.
Because I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, they're just like going, all right, well, not really getting a whole lot of tone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe with the Ampeg.
Yeah.
But, and then I got another thing.
Is it just one output?
It should have, I don't know, flip it over.
It's got a headphone out.
I guess, I don't know, that probably should have used, but I don't know the difference on the...
Well, I guess you can just put it into a splitter and you can run it into the Ampeg and the orange.
Oh, shit.
And then you go...
highs and lows.
Yeah.
I'm just
trying to pawn more shit off on you. I'm like, oh man, I have like my PA with my two 15s, like my JBLs. I'm like, oh, that'd probably be better. You should
set them up in here with the stands.
Just get them out of my fucking hair and dump them off in your garage.
Well,
you got a couple other things cleaned up in here, so you got some space,
dude.
Finally took out the trash. We're looking good here at Tone Jerk Central.
Took the trash out because I was like, I'm playing video games and I have bugs flying around. I'm like, fucking Christ.
Oh God, I guess I take out fucking
It's
trash.
gonna be me, I guess. It's gonna be me to do this.
You're the only one on here, or maybe you're on with like you're playing games with like Sean.
God, Sean, would you take out the trash?
He's like, I did because I'm an adult.
Yeah, I'm not touching your trash.
Functioning adult in the world.
What? I haven't taken it out. Last time we were here, also, I had like a stack of boxes all the way to the ceiling from work.
Oh,
remember
from
that?
work.
So I took care of that the other day.
It was just like, yeah, the whole back
Just-
wall here was like filled with like, just boxes and shit.
A lot of work.
I also like how, because the way we record these, we record, the main episode and the Patreon and stuff like that. And then people from the main episode don't know what you do for a living, but people on the Patreon do. And I think we should kind of keep it that way. Because people say, oh, Kyle got a new job. What does he do? I'm like, well, we've already talked about it, but it's on the Patreon. So we've talked to people in like IRL, and they're like, "Hey, Kyle, congrats on the new job. You guys talk about it all the time. What do you do? You sound like you're flying out here. You're training.
You're a
you're
spy or something.
Flying out to Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota
for secret recon.
It's Minnesota in quotations.
You got your dossier on your
shit.
Anyway, let's keep that. Anyway, so back to it. So you mini log.
I got the mini log. I also got a Volca Beats, also from Korg.
Okay.
So it is just a drum generator, just a beat generator, which is cool.
I only really know them from the great work they did with the Miku Stomp, but I'm assuming Korg's got some good
so
synth
far so
products.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, definitely their synths are awesome. This is like what's cool is it's also analog.
Okay.
So it probably has some digital features in it, but it's got through hole mounts on the inside.
Yeah, you were saying
really
that.
Cool. And I was like looking today. I was like, oh, let me see a little more how to operate this thing, and I figured out a lot on my own. Actually, there's not a whole lot of buttons, right?
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of this. I already did in the group, but I can post a better one.
Yeah, I'll post one on Instagram.
It's kind of cool. It's got like the keys are like. They're not actual keys. They're just like
it's pretty
the sensor.
Cool looking. Like even this with the mini log, it's just like I don't know. The mini log has, I guess, a wood front with the inputs and stuff like that. Like this, like it looks like a retro like 80s video game. Like one of those
it's
ones
super small. It's actually
I like the way
it's like just a little wider than like the descent pedal.
Yeah, so it's like about the size.
It's pretty small,
or like maybe like a little bit
maybe
more
like an
shallow
HX Stomp.
than
It's like the same width as like an HX Stomp.
Yeah, it's very cool. Nice.
So it's analog. I'm like just doing some research on my break at work, and which is any time I want, basically, if you want to know.
Talking more about work, but being so ominous about what you do.
And I was looking, and people actually mod these. So you can put switches on certain circuits, and some guy put like a white noise function, so you can have it like you can turn up the a pot and basically have the background noise, just this like. It's kind of cool. There's actually a white noise function on the mini log.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. You can actually save a beat. You can
recall it and stuff too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I haven't gotten too far into it, but you can sequence. You don't have to just record it. You can record it if you want, like actually tap it out, do cat, or you can basically load. Here's your 16 buttons. Right, 16 buttons, and you can go through and actually tap. Okay, I want a drum. I want kick here, 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 and here. Now I want snare here, 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 and here. And it's cool.
Yeah, no, nice. You're getting into it. Yeah. So
now I just need to, just practice those and see how I can use them together. And there's a MIDI function. I got to figure out how they talk. They can talk to each other. I just have to figure out how. Yeah,
you're gonna have to learn the MIDI world. Yeah. I barely know it, so. You're on your own, buddy. I'm waving. Bye. Good luck, Kyle.
I'll leave it on a jet plane.
I'll have to redo the artwork for the podcast and like change it from you having a bass to having synth set up and just like
no, don't do that.
Like instead of your normal, glasses have like like I don't know like a Cyclops or like 3D glasses or something like that,
or like the ones that are black and white and offset.
Yeah,
like
just like the most generic.
Stuff. Yeah, just put a Devo
Revenge
hat
of the
on
Nerds. That was like
Devo hat with a bill though. Keep the bill on there.
A rap by little old me Lamar.
Yeah. So that's basically what I got. What do you got?
Let's see. I'll end it with some gear stuff. Last weekend, I went to an anime convention.
Oh, shocker!
In San Diego. No, I mean, yeah, I've never actually been. So
when you told me, I'm like, wait, what are you doing?
It was our first time actually going to one of these conventions. I like the thing is I've been to NAMM, so to me, I'm like other people who are not from, even like flying out there, they're like, oh, I don't know what to expect. It's huge and da-da-da. And I'm like, no, it's cakewalk. Da-da-da. You go talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I was
like-minded individuals.
I know how to like go all over the floor and where to go and just navigate the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, no, it's a piece of cake. And then going to an anime convention, which in San Diego, which is a smaller one, so it's not like AX in LA, which is like really, really big and daunting and stuff like that. It's like, droves of people. This was in San Diego. It's like at the Mission Valley Marriott. Not people who aren't from San Diego.
It's in Hotel Circle.
Don't give a shit where it was. But it was cool. It's actually a lot of fun because I've been like, it's something I'm also into. So I'm like, okay. And it was like $20 to go. And I was like, it's not a big deal. And local. So I'm like, oh, okay, supporting local, whatever cons and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. If it's not, nobody's going to go, then they're not going to keep doing it, yada, yada. But there's a good amount of people there.
So you're fighting the good fight.
I guess I'm doing a service. But no, it was really cool. It was just like, people, there's voice actors for anime. There's like artists. There's like people selling shit. There's, just a bunch of nerd anime shit. And I was like, loving every minute of it. And I'm like, there's like, cosplayers and everything like that. Yeah. And just like, yeah, I had a lot of fun, and just like it's funny because I'm like, oh, I'm just hanging out, and I went there, Stag went there solo, and none of my friends who like anime could go, and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna not go.
Didn't ask me, but okay.
Kyle, you're like, how about a hell no?
I walk in there, 5 seconds. This place is lame.
No, it's like
I'm going home.
It's like the Simpsons episode where Abe Simpson, Bart's grandpa walks into like the boudoir house, and he sees Bart at the door, and he like walks in, takes his hat off, puts it on the stand, sees Bart, whoop, puts his hat back on, and walks right out the door. He's like, whoa. That's exactly what you do. You walk into the thing, see everybody, whoa. You get into an Uber.
I'm in the wrong place. You get back in the same Uber that hasn't even taken off yet.
You just like Chris Farley style, lock your tie onto the bumper and just get dragged out.
Holy hell.
Stop the car. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. So to me, I'm like, okay, that was something not gear related. But I don't know. It was, for me, it's funny, like, because I'm like, of course, like, they had beer there. So I'm like, getting some beers, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun just to talk to people who are into the same thing that you are. And it's like so many different, like, it's like, okay, yeah, to compare it to, because like I have to make the comparison. Like people who are into guitar, like anybody from every different
a guitar podcast, though.
Different walks of, life and different like backgrounds or whatever, you have a similar interest. You can spark conversations about anything and anyone about, something that you like. And it was like funny. It's like talk to like some, like, some people who are dorks, a lot of people are dorks, and then you can talk to them. It's like, hey, cool. We're, having a beer, just talking about the anime that you like. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're talking about the season anime that we like, some of our favorites, and like what we bought, what we want to get, and voice actors, whatever. It was fun. It was cool. I bought some crap that I really don't need, and I was like, I left there. I'm like, why did I get that? I don't fucking need this. I bought like a lanyard that I'm like, oh, I guess I could put
I could show everyone
podcast USB so I don't lose it, and attach it to to this thing, and it's like, oh, it's Konosuba, okay. And then I'm like, oh, I bought like a figure that I can put on top of one of my like studio monitors. And I'm like, cool. I'm like,
you got a figure?
Yeah, I
bought
your first figure. Yeah, first figure. I don't know if I'm gonna buy more of these.
Slippery slope, I hear.
Maybe, yeah. I'd rather put my anime on my pedals than on figures, but it was just one. And I was like, oh, I got the Xenon and put it on my monitor.
Of all the ones you could have got.
She's my favorite one.
No Kirito.
No, he's...
No Goku.
He's like, no.
No Vegeta.
Vegeta, I think.
No Krillin.
Krillin's probably the best.
He's like the lamest one.
Dragon Ball Z. He's the best. He's like, it's like, okay, now we're going to go off track. Krillin from Dragon Ball Z is, and he never gets credit for it, he is the strongest human.
Yeah, he's the lamest voice.
He's not a...
He's not like Kermit the Frog.
He's not an alien. He's not like a super, like, he's not an android or anything. He's a human. Right. He's the only one, and he's the strongest one.
All right,
and everybody's just like, oh, he's the fucking lamest character. I'm like, yeah, because he's short, bald.
What was the other guy who got killed like immediately?
Yamcha.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the strongest, right?
Well, he was just like he's like a
hipster,
kind of like, I'm the cool guy, and
he's like celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And then he just gets instantly like murdered.
Always killed and his ass beat.
Send Yamcha, see how strong this guy is.
Anyways, but I just wanted to mention that. So it was fun. It was kind of cool. And I was just like, I do like anime, and it's kind of cool to support something like that. I might go, like I mentioned, that there's anime conventions all around the U.S., and so I might want to try and make a destination trip to go like somewhere.
Do it.
And then like, oh, okay, I'll go to this con for like a day or two, and then like actually see something else. So I'm like, I really want to go up to. You did it a while back, but like Portland, Seattle area.
I did not do that though.
No, you see a site. So I'm like, oh, I'd go to this convention and then go around and just travel.
Don't get it twisted. I don't want people thinking,
sick.
Wait, Kyle went up there for what?
No, you didn't do that, but. Yeah, so that was the non-gear related stuff. That I'm like, I think it's worth mentioning because hey, sometimes we gotta.
We want to know what's up with you, dude.
Yeah, what I'm up to. But besides that, I did sell some gear. So back to switching gears into
thank
gear.
God.
Sold that rack tuner.
Hell yeah.
Yep, that Korg rack tuner. So like,
there's a Korg?
Yeah.
Fuck.
You could have had a tuner for my synth.
It better be fucking in tune.
And you just check, yep, 100% in tune. Cool.
It doesn't waver
glad
at
I
all.
Glad I bought this from Brian.
Yeah.
I would sell it to you for sure. Anyway, so I mentioned this 6-space rack case that I've got rid of the case and selling the rack pieces out, and I totally don't need them. Anyways, especially a rack tuner, which is cool if you have that setup that calls for it, because you have it in your 4-space rack.
Yeah, I have one still.
And it's easy because I'm like, oh, you can, a tuner always there. Yada yada. I don't have that anymore, so I'm like, well, I don't need this. So I sold it on Reverb. It was pretty. I did not get a deal or anything for it. I got
you got it moved.
I got it moved, and I got like $40 for it, which I'm like,
okay.
$40 is better than just sitting on a drawer. On a shelf. I'm like, I just need to get rid of this.
How many double deckers is that?
Yeah, somebody.
Okay. People talk. Oh, you got this many cup of coffee. Who cares about coffee?
It's all about double deckers and Taco Bell.
Those double D's, man.
Yeah, that's hey. Damn, that was a good one.
That just came to me right now. All these years.
Let's see. So I got rid of that, and it's fine. I didn't get any money for any good money. I just got cash in. I got it moved, got it gone. I did buy something, so pretty much I lost that $40 real quick. So on Reverb, I was just like, how you do, I don't know, you're bored, and I'm like, oh, I can't sleep, and so I'm like, okay, well, you check Reverb out. And I'm like, which you probably shouldn't do. You should probably get off your phone if you're trying to fall asleep. But
it's like 1 o'clock. You're like, why isn't this guy accepting my offer?
I have my search, normal searches I go to. And the one, I've talked about it before, but it's now a reality.
A long time ago, actually.
Of my mini game. I like my mini pedals. I sold my mini reverb, which was the Maleco chicken spring reverb.
It's great.
I liked it, but it was so much. It was like, I had it barely on just to this is the kind of reverb that I like. I do like spring reverb, and I will leave spring reverb on the whole time, normally when I play conventional pedals.
Yeah.
So I leave my Strymon Flint on when I have my bigger board, but I have my mini pedal board.
Strymon.
And I want my mini pedal board on my Pedal Train Nano. So I got the Wampler Spring Faux Reverb, the mini one. And
that was the Fox.
The Fox Reverb.
Fox Reverb. Fox.
That's fake reverb. Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck's wrong with that?
Something wrong with that. Anyways, so I got that in. And I guess the whole thing is, I saw it on Reverb for $90 free shipping. And I was like, got a shoot. So I gave him an offer. I was like, 75. Which is 90 is the best I've ever seen it for.
I bet he could do better.
Well, like I said, do it. Shoot your shot, kid.
If he's got to make offer on it.
Yeah, he's got the room.
The worst thing they can do is just come down a fucking penny.
Yeah.
I've had that.
And then,
fuck.
Or not. Anyway, so the guy had just, he put it on maybe 3 hours before I saw it and made the offer. I'm like, hey, $75. He's like, and then he honestly declined it. He's like, I'm going to leave it at 90 just because I'm like, let me see if it sells. If it doesn't, then I'll come back to you. But he's like, I don't think it's a bad price of what I'm asking. Hey, I'm just going to deny your offer. So he gave me a really a reason why.
That's a
I'm
good
way.
And
I'm 100%. I'm like, 90 is probably the best I've ever seen with free shipping. And so I just said, he's like, but if you want it now, I'll ship it out today. So I'm like, buy now.
All right.
I just bought it. I paid the guy $90, and it is pretty much unused.
Yeah, that thing is like clean.
It's brand new. No, not even Velcro on it. Not that it matters, but there's no Velcro on it. It came with the box, the original instructions, the stickers, the Wampler,
the pick.
bag that has the Wampler on there, name on there.
Nice.
And like all the original like packaging and stuff like that. I'm like, very cool. He said like he got it as a store demo, so he got it for a cheaper price, and he's like, I never used it. I don't really like it. I'm gonna move it along. So I'm like, cool. Got it. I really enjoyed it. I played it today, and I'm like, it is, I told you, it's a good, boring spring reverb. That sounds great.
That's what you want.
I like that. And you, Kyle, I don't think this is a reverb for you because it is just boring.
Yeah.
It is.
Does it have 6 settings that allow you to do a reverse reverb?
Nope. It has a mix knob. It has a depth and a tone. And the tone is not it's like, it kind of like a little dark or like it doesn't get too bright. It's like, I'm like, it is the vanilla of the reverbs. And I love it. It's such a great, and it's Wampler, so it's good quality, good, good stuff. So, and it's mini, and it's I'm super stoked on it. So that was that. I'm trying to think of anything else. We did have a gig. So this is both of us. Something new for both of us.
You reminded me of this gig.
So, yeah, we're bringing it along to here. We had a gig this past weekend, and it was an outdoor gig. And
which we haven't played an outdoor gig in a long time.
Yeah, so it was like a street fair festival kind of thing.
So last time we played one, was it actually Rock and Roll Marathon?
So it's been...
It's been...
Damn, I don't think it's been a decade, but I think maybe you're right.
Yeah, I think it was at 2009, 2008.
Dang, it's been a long time since we played outside.
Yeah, we're
outdoor
kids.
We're the indoor kids. So we kind of don't know what to expect, and especially because I'm like, are they miking? And you can't really judge a room because the earth is the room.
That was my joke when we were on stage. No one liked it.
And yeah, it was... Anyway, so we got there and we're like, okay, we need to prepare for the worst. So we brought the big guns.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking, what rig did you bring, Kyle?
I brought the SUT-3.
Yep.
Some might debate that's not the big gun.
But it's 450 watts.
Hell yeah. On the A10.
With the A10, classic, the refrigerator.
Oh, man.
And I brought the 412 PPC orange cab I have, and then I brought my Rock Reverb 50. So we're like, okay, we're prepared for this.
Yeah.
These
can get quiet if they have to.
Yeah. And,
but I doubt they will.
They have master volumes on there.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's what we got. And then... So we're prepared. We can turn down, and then if they mic it, cool. Then we just, or if they do DI for you, cool. It just don't need to be that loud, just stage volume for us. But anyway, so we got there, and it was cool. There's people, around, people coming in, people watching bands, a lot of cool mixture of bands.
People walking on the street.
Yeah, and the sound guy, let me just say, a sound guy can make a great band or a great instrument sound like shit.
Not that we're great.
And this, now I'm not saying about us, but which he did fuck our setup. Like a band Mainsail. Like friends of ours, pop punk band, great guys, great band, good tones. He was able to make, for example, the bass player's rig. He used your cab, and he had an AD200 orange all tube head and with nice pedals, and he had a good signal flow in there, and he had P bass with quarter pounders and everything in there. Great rig, right?
Yeah.
The sound guy was able to make it sound like shit because he had the levels wrong and it was clipping every time the guy hit a certain thing. I'm like, okay, it's like, why gain it so high? Anyway, the sound guy had, we watched several bands before us. I think at least three bands, 3 or 4 bands before us.
And then we heard the band before them.
So we heard the story. So it was like a thing, like our stage had 8 bands. We showed up and we were able to catch like 3 before us and the one after us.
Because we're gentlemen.
Yeah. And he found a way to make everybody have a problem. Something was wrong with everyone. This guitar was wrong. This, vocal was wrong. This wedge didn't work. And it was different for every band. So we're like, oh, geez. So, like, one of the bands, Kyle and I thought, like, okay, we saw them. The bass player had, like, an acoustic bass combo, but he was running a DI out of that. So it was, like, a good thing. He had, like, a cool, he had, like, American P bass and stuff like that. Really cool like rig, and he had like really nice like it's just Boss MXR pedals.
Yeah.
He had the chorus. He had the
bass chorus.
Bass
he had
overdrive.
the Phase 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had was it Boss OB?
Yeah, the overdriver bass one.
ODB.
Yeah.
And it sounded good.
And he sounded great, but we were like, dude, like, cause to me instantly I thought like, oh, his pedals are clipping this thing, and we found out it was the guitar player. It kept on like he just like
it sounded like a tremolo on there because it was like,
yeah, exactly. It would play, and the thing is, I'm like, dude, there's a bad cable. There's a bad cable, or that mic's bad. Change it out. And so the guy did. He took the mic off.
He changed the mic, didn't change the cable.
Didn't change his cable. And so he left the cable on the whole time. And then the thing is, I'm like, okay, he must have fixed that, right? And then the next band comes on, and I think they didn't have as many guitar players or whatever. Or sorry. Yeah, so we're just going out of tune. So one of the first bands we saw there, they had a very difficult setup.
Yeah.
There was a 4-piece band, but the vocalist, the main guy, he was just a vocalist. He had like this, 6-bass rack.
Six-bass rack. It looked like he was using a TC Helicon pedal through some type of vocal processor. So he was like controlling his own delay and his own reverb and like his own high, was it lo-fi kind of, so he was messing with it. I see what he was trying to do, but with the current dude, I mean, the way the dude was set up is like every time he would change, like he'd kick delay on or he'd kick like the lo-fi, the guy would turn it up, turn it down. I'm like, stop dude,
mixing
stop
it. I'm like, this guy
he mixed the whole time.
He was trying to like mix and like fade the bands and stuff like that. I'm like, stop, dude. I'm like, just leave it. Set the levels, and the bands know what they're doing. They can fade in their own guitars and fade in their own vocals because the guy had his own vocal processor and stuff like that. And he was doing the foot switch and stuff like that, where he would have like reverbs or sometimes harmonies in certain parts.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. Okay, so we have the vocalist, which had like a crazy setup.
I see what they're trying to do. I would never do that, but yeah.
But anyway, then the guitarist also played a keyboard. And
he had a keyboard. He had a Vox.
AC30, so that's easy to mic up one mic on there. And he had a crazy pedal board too.
Damn, the dude had 2 H9s.
Yeah.
An Empress. I don't even know which one.
He had a Strymon too. Yeah, he had a crazy boutique board. I should have took a picture of it. But anyways,
it was dirty as hell.
The guy uses the shit out of it. So it's cool. I mean, he had great guitar tone. And then he also had like a synth or something.
Yeah, I never looked to see what it was. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's one thing. So so mic up the guitar and then out to the synth. And that was one thing that the guy, this band like couldn't like get that one going, and also because partially the guy had the volume all the way down. The guitarist who was trying to go out of his synth. Anyways, he couldn't. He's like, the DI is wrong. So it took like almost a 45-minute fucking
setup. A bitch.
And I was like, dude, this is fucking ridiculous. It's partially because the band wasn't prepared and they brought too much gear, and partially because the sound guy wasn't working with them. He didn't know what to do and troubleshoot. Anyway.
Yeah, the bass player.
Now.
Who played direct.
He went DI, so I'm like, cool.
He had a Korg Minilog.
Yeah.
And then he had a Moog Sub 37.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
And it was like, so you had to like sound check all 3 of those things. And the guy was like, okay, got to get an XLR to this and got to get a DI box to this and then make sure to get this and make the levels. And the thing is like with the the sub, the Moog, he was doing like this, like they were trying to do like live dubstep, which was cool. Yeah, it's a cool idea. But anyways, like because like he didn't have the levels correctly, every time he did like the wah with the Moog, it would just fucking peak and go. I'm like, go crazy. I'm like, that's the one thing you should turn down. Anyways.
Yeah, and then when he played bass, it was non-existent. Yeah, there was no bass at all.
Yeah, because he just no cab on stage and he went DI only. And anyway, so that was one thing. That was probably the biggest headache of a band for the sound guy and for us as people watching. You're like cringing. You're like, dude, you guys brought too much gear. You brought too much stuff, and you guys don't know how to control it, kind of thing.
You don't know how to tell the sound guy.
You don't know what to tell him and how help him troubleshoot.
Make sure this isn't loud because I get, make sure you're not. I'm gonna check it at this volume because this is how loud I get. Yeah. Instead of just like praying that he's gonna, anyways. But it was rough.
Yeah, the sound guy. Anyway, so it's like so when he got to the point, not to like blame everything on him, but like he really kept fucking up. So you thought you would learn anyway. So by the time he got to us, guess who got the bad input cable. Your boy, me.
You did.
And the thing is, he kept on breaking down and setting up in between bands.
Yeah,
He'd unplug all the cables, and then I'm like, take the mics off stage, and then a band would set up, and then you put them back out. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have to like, and then follow the cable back to like the board and the snake. He like to see what channel am I plugged into. Leave him. I'm like, I don't know what this guy was doing. And it was like such a headache. I'm like, you're the one who's making this setup time longer because drums are set up on side stage like you should be. Like, don't set up your cymbals. Everything's on stage and everybody just loads them up. And Johnny, Two Guns, he was there helping us
shout out.
Yeah, he's, always the man. He's helping us out because, that's what he wants to do. He's like, okay, cool. Help Brian set up, help bring cabs up on stage. And like, he's like, cool. Do you need help with anything? And so like, we were quick. We got on stage and ready to go in like 5-10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
All plugged up and ready to go. And this guy's like, which cable do I run to this? So the way they did it, they did DI for bass out of the back of your head, right? They did a mic for my guitar cab, mic for both of our vocals. They did a kick drum, and they did an overhead just for the drums, which is totally fine. And the thing is, the guy had no idea mic positioning too. Mic positioning.
He just sat it right in front.
Well, no, he took
in between.
He took the overhead and put it right next to Brian's crash.
Oh, yeah.
Only his crash, and Brian's like, "Are we good?" He's like, "No, yeah, I have the mic set up. Don't worry about it." And then Brian's like, "Are you sure, bro? Because you're aiming." Like, you are 3 inches away from my crash. You're going to get only crash. Like, why don't you move it over higher and raise it to in between the kit? And the guy looked at Brian like,
he said, I'll do it.
Dumbfounded. And Brian's like, don't worry. So Brian set up the mics and like everything. And then Brian told him, he's like, hey, I have an in-ear. Just give me a line so I can get this instead of a monitor. And the guy was like, boo? It like he was going to like a smoke coming out of his ears. He had no idea what was going on. Anyway.
Oof.
So, I had he couldn't figure out the mix and like putting the bass, and he found the bass channel. He found the bass channel a couple songs in. Yeah. He's like, oh, I had the bass DI. And then he turned it on.
Fucking cranked it. And that's all we could hear.
Well, and it was just like boom, through our monitors.
You guys are looking at me. I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Once it turned on, Brian and I looked at Kyle because I'm like, and I went after the song was over. I'm like, kill the bass. I don't need bass in my, in this, because I'm like, dude, whatever. And then my guitar was like, for you were doing the same things. Like, yeah,
I couldn't hear it.
You couldn't hear anything. And I was like, I had that thing cranked. I think I had it at like 1 or 2 o'clock. And it was just cranked because you could only hear my stage volume. But when you're outside, you can only, anyway. So we just had to kind of play off of just whatever. And then like he would find the guitar and then he'd lose it.
Yeah.
Because like even this guy in the one, there's people in the crowd and people are watching. And then there's one guy in the crowd. He's like, dude, he found the guitar. Don't need to turn it up. He found the guitar. And he's like, one guy really liked it. He's like, yeah, it's good. But it's like, sound guy, anyway. So it's like,
well, and then like when you told him cut out the bass, he dropped everything out of the monitors. I'm like,
this guy, and I'm like, dude, this guy is just not.
And so I turned up my bass even more now, right? I turned it up, and I have those the eargasms.
Yeah,
I don't like those anymore. I was like deaf because they did not block the frequencies I wanted.
Yeah. Fuck. You're saying you may want to do a hybrid set to where you put eargasm in one.
I don't know if I'll even do that. I think I'll just go back to regular shitty foam.
Anyway, so it was just like a lot of things going on, and then playing outdoor.
We're bitching along on this one.
Yeah, it's good. We're giving them people,
this is what they want.
Some of the business. Playing outdoor.
This is some premium shit right here.
Derek had mentioned this on the latest Tone Control episode, but playing outside is tough. For me, I couldn't see that some of my pedals on with the LEDs. Like I had my Ibanez mini delay on my board, and when I plugged in my pedals, or like when I plugged in, turned my amp off of standby, it was like, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, the delay's on. I was like, fuck. All right, guess I'm not using that.
But I could see my TU2.
You could
barely.
I
couldn't see that the light was on, like the actual indicator, like the solo red light.
Yeah,
but I could actually still see I was in tune.
And then I was like, I couldn't see my chronograph. So Daniel Shields, which I'm sure he doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen.
Version 2, you got to change that. That the LED maybe like a
little brighter,
a little brighter or something like that. Could not see that worth a shit. So I'm like, okay, I just had to be the asshole pulling out my phone and looking at the time. And then, but I could see my fractal no problem, which I was thank goodness.
Yeah.
I could see my fractal. I don't know, something with the LCD type screen or whatever. It's the green.
It's the green with the black.
With the black on it. Yeah, I could see that, no problem. And then I could see the Schnobeltone, no problem.
Schnobeltone.
That tuner, not that I need a tuner with the Evertune, but it was just like, I was like, oh, that was super bright. So it's kind of weird that I'm like, all right, that one is...
I could have used it, though. I could have walked over and plugged in if I really wanted to.
Yeah. But no, it was...
Excuse me, sir.
So that was the show. And then we saw, like I said, our friend's main sale. They were great, but they had the bad input or whatever, or cable or something. So it was like, it was a good show, except most of the thing is most people who saw it, they were like, fine. It was no big deal.
Yeah.
When I saw
it was fun still. It just was like,
good time.
Performing it just was really, it's like, this is added stress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting triggered here.
So I wanted to kind of spin this into a topic.
All right.
It's something that I think we've talked about and kind of dismissed it before, but I keep giving it more thought. In-ear monitors.
Uh-huh.
And some, that way we don't have to worry about wedges and stuff like that, and we can have a perfect mix on our own every show.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And so I've been doing some research on that. And then with in-ear monitors... So maybe this is a topic that I've been just like, kind of like how your synth episode, you've been researching it and stuff like that.
I'll just sit back here.
Researching in-ears.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who play with in-ears that I've talked to and that we know, they play in church. So they have their worship bands and they have a constantly same setup. So it's like kind of maybe, I'm assuming that a lot of people who play, they're like, okay, just get a set of in-ears and then you can plug into our wireless and somebody else will do your mix for you. So they don't have to purchase the whole fucking system.
Yeah.
But if we did, we'd have to purchase every piece because we don't have a sponsor or we have nobody else buying them for us.
How many pieces are you thinking here?
Well, okay. So that's where we go to different types of monitors. So what Brian does currently, he's the only one that plays with in-ears, and he's the one who's like, oh, in-ears would be a good thing for you guys. In-ears would be a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Well, currently what he does is like he has a in-ear set that he obviously he doesn't need to be wireless.
Yeah.
So he can just sit there and plug
into... His drums are, though, which is weird.
Yeah. He can just plug into the system, and but the thing is, he's very reliant on if the sound guy can handle it.
Yeah.
The sound guy barely could handle it the last show. Sound guys sometimes can't handle it at all at certain venues.
Well, Brian had to pull him out because the guy was cranking something.
Yeah. And so... Okay, so that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
So if we played, you and I would have to go wireless. There's no way we could be wired because we're a band. So anyway, so I was looking at the different...
It's just a short cable, like so short that's almost it's wireless.
So short that is
so short. Well, it's like a patch cable width. It's almost like I'm wireless because it's like short.
That's a hell of a bit there. Let me carry this on there. You guys can marinate on that one.
Brian, you're not funny anymore.
So there's the whole thing of like, okay, well, how do you get your sound in? Well, you got to get it from the house guy. I'm like, well, that brings up so many complications because it's like, okay, what if we bring our wireless receiver? The guy doesn't have to plug in. He doesn't have the type of thing because maybe he's not doing a like XLR input to powered monitors. He's doing power to these monitors. You can't get your line in from there. You have to get it from the snake and he has to feed it. And some guys can't handle that. And so I was thinking, okay, I was watching videos and just kind of, seeing this type of thing. There's types of in-ear closed systems to where you bring everything.
Yeah. And
you bring your own mixer, you bring your own line inputs. Shit. And you plug into there. Anyway, so yeah.
It's like that one band we played with that they had like half the stage taken up with that shit.
Kind of, but also... You can make it more compact than what they did, but they also had like sounds, like they had computers running their show and stuff like that, and lights and stuff like that. This is not part of that. So, anyways, not saying that we're going to do any of this. It's just me researching it. I'm like, this is cool, but also I will bring this whole thing to tell you why this is not a good thing. Okay, so the in-ear system can be one system rack that you build. So you need to get your inputs and determine how many you need, which is like, okay, you can get an XLR splitter to get like 8 inputs on an like ART S8, which is this thing where it's like you get 8 XLR inputs and it will split it into 2 XLR outputs. So the same XLR that you plug in will split to 2.
So you have 16, is that what it comes out to or no?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, no.
But yes, exactly. There will be 16 cables coming out.
Okay.
But it's not like you're getting like, say basically you plug in one mic, say the mic I'm talking into right now would split to two different things.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I would go one into the Zoom here and then one into if I wanted to go to a PA or something.
And then he takes the sound still out of that?
Yep. And he takes the sound out of there, which you
Okay.
got to get either a snake or a patch bay to then have him plug into that.
Yeah.
And then out of the 8 channels, you can determine what you want to plug in there. I was thinking, okay, well, this is just me just planning it out, thinking like, oh, this could be kind of cool. I watched Fluff's video, so Riffs, Beards, and Gear, his guy, guy, Troy from Gear Gods, his YouTube video, and then I watched C2A has a YouTube channel, and he talks about his in-ears, which he's on tour with, like he's at bigger shows. His whole thing, so maybe is all like a 6-space rack or whatever, or 8-space rack, but he's doing 2 fractals for him and his guitar player. And he's doing a Focusrite with a laptop that's running synthesizer,
drum
keys,
tracks,
keys. They have a live drummer.
Oh, okay.
And then he's also running bass tracks because the bass player couldn't tour.
Okay.
That's all running to front of house, but also to a...
You should call him up and say, hey, I'll do it.
Yeah. I could not
For
play
free.
any of those bass tracks. Anyway, so his system is a little easier because it's just, fractals going into a Focusrite, going into the computer.
And there's no vocals or anything.
Yeah, and he doesn't do any of that. So his whole system, and then he has 2 wireless packs just for him and his guitar player.
Nice.
Anyway, so that's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so I started watching these the rabbit hole or whatever. So I'm like, okay, you need to plug into this thing, which you need to get like a mixer or whatever to be able to like plug all your inputs in. Like I said, you would determine what you want. So maybe 2 vocals, bass, guitar, maybe some drums, and then that's it. And then you determine from there plugging into the mixer, which I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of different ones. There's some that are nowadays rack mixers, which are wireless, which, I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of cool. We could each have our phones plug into the wireless and like pick like our mixes, which we want there's up to 8 outputs on certain ones, whatever. And we get our own feeds.
That one sounds cheap.
No. But I'm like, okay. And then, you need like, outputs and the cables and stuff like that. So I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. I was thinking about that. And I was like, that'd be nice to build. It'd be like a pipe dream. And you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's going to be about $3,000 to $4,000. Because with the wireless packs and everything too. I was like, cool. And I was just like talking it out with Brian because I know he likes in-ears. And he's like, okay, the thing is, that sounds like a great idea. But, okay, we need to get, signal going into that, first channel strip to be able to split it. So that you got to think of like our mics for live shows. If we use the house stuff, we have to unplug from his snake that he's running to his board and then plug into our system
and then take another cable.
Run our snake from out of that system back into his, patch snake into his board. And Brian's like, okay, that's not going to take that much time. Just to go like, okay, change up to 8, inputs and then go back into. But I'm like, how many uneducated, belligerent sound guys do we know? Have we seen? More than we can count, right?
Yeah.
You're unplugging what? You're plugging into what? You're doing what? I'm like, no, we know what we're doing. Which one? Just tell us what numbers to go into for each one. You're doing what? And so anyway, so Brian said,
I'm cool.
I'm cool. But I don't
want you to
don't touch that. But I'm cool. I'm like, oh, we know what we're doing. I'm cool, man. So we're like, okay. So I was just talking with Brian. I'm like, okay, well, what about like if we like from your bass pedal board, we do a splitter to where you have your XLR out from your Sans amp, but we split it from there. So I'm like, we already have our XLR plugged in to there, ours that runs into this system. So I'm like, okay, we're not touching your snake at all. You plug in whatever you're going to plug into the bass into this one. We're taking this one and plugging it into our system. And then for my guitar, I'm like, okay, if I got that torpedo cab thing, I would get a splitter from my like little setup. I'm like, I'm taking my signal. You take my signal also. Do what you're going to do with it. I'm going to do what I'm going to do with it. And then we could just, all we have to unplug and replug in is the vocals. So you and I would have to take his cable, plug it into a splitter, and then we take that signal and run into there. And then we just get like a trash mic and like a condenser or whatever, put it under Brian's drum seat. And he never gets that signal, but we run that signal into that system, in-ear system.
A trash mic? What'd you call it?
They call it a trash mic, where it's like, it's just to get some of this drum sound.
Oh.
So it's like you can kind of get some of the cymbal, because the drums are so loud anyway. You put like a little like mic under there, and then you just run it just for like some sound of the drums.
I think that just tripled our 10-minute setup.
Exactly.
Our slow 10-minute.
And then
we're usually faster.
And so anyway, so I was thinking about that, just talking it over with Brian. He's like, okay, that sounds like the quickest way. So it went from plugging in 8 things and then getting a better mix into plugging in 5 things and getting still a okay mix, and we get used to that. Okay, so that just added more to the setup time, which is actually not that much more things we got to plug in.
We used to do a lot more prep before.
More practice, more plugins and stuff like that. And then I'm like, I don't know. I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, not that I'm like, this is going to happen anytime soon, or if it's going to happen at all. I was just looking at it. I'm like, that's interesting.
What about my synth setup?
Yeah, that is never going to happen with this band. So that, I don't know. So
you're killing my dreams.
All of this, I'm like, I think what we're eventually going to do, just because I'm like, okay, I don't think we're going to do in-ears anytime soon, if we ever do. I think we'd have to be a way bigger band to make that investment a worthwhile thing. Because so far, even Brian said, I think just getting a better signal for guitar to this front of house, and we should bring better cables. Because if we can determine a bad cable, let's bring these sinusoid cables just to switch it out. Hey, your cable's fucked up, dude. Here's a good one. Boom, done. Hey, other bands, figure it out. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then, because I was thinking, I'm like, the whole show, I'm like, man, things could have been so much better if I would have had that torpedo cab XLR out. If I would have brought my 30-foot pink sinusoid XLR cable, it would have been better. I could have saved the show. I could have done better for us. I could have done better for the crowd.
You could. Why didn't you do it?
It's like Schindler's List.
Yeah, you should have.
That one cable, I could have saved the show. This one XLR, I could have saved it. I would have done it.
Man, that's a tough sell.
Yeah, bad joke, but it's still. I didn't think about it. And the thing is, I didn't even pack the XLRs because I'm like, I should have.
Yeah.
XLR cables at least. I'm like, anyway, so that's my whole thing. I don't think that's going to happen, in ears, but I think it's worthwhile just to talk about it. I'm like, apprehensions for us, you and I both have the same thing. And even Brian, who is a big advocate for having in-ears. Setup time, and you're not going to be able to have it for every venue.
Yeah.
You would have to email every single venue every time we play, and then they could still not give you an answer. There's like maybe 1 or 2 venues in San Diego that could work a rig like that.
Yeah.
It's like you talk to Shiloh at the Moreau. He knows exactly what he's like. Nope, no problem, dude. I can do that.
Yeah.
But you can, like any other venue, maybe Soda Bar, and then possibly
maybe Casbah.
Yeah, Casbah, stuff like that. But you have to make sure to get there. Anyway.
Of like the medium-sized venues.
Yeah, it's just not a practical thing for us, our size band. Bigger bands, totally. Like I said, I saw like the Fluff, his video and C2A. They are all bigger bands that are playing bigger venues that, kind of call for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're like have riders. They're doing,
you should include that in the rider with a bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
A couple crispy boys.
All right. So I did talk to, or text with a couple of friends about in-ears because I'm like, oh, it's going to be a loose topic I wanted to bring up.
Uh-huh.
So I talked to Adam Rohr from the Let 'Em Hear podcast. And I'm like, okay, because I know he plays in church and I think he had mentioned in-ears on one of his shows, or I think he did Clifton's show, talked about it.
What's up, dog? How them in-ears?
I was asking him about it. He's like, he does not like it. He's gone back to wedges and stuff like that.
Okay. And
he had mentioned it just, it's like, it feels like you're playing, like this was his thing. He's like, it feels like you're playing on a track on a CD instead of playing live. It's like, it takes the live element out of it. It's like, it's weird because like you're isolated, which is kind of the point of it, to be like, you're blocked out from the world and you're only getting your mix.
Yeah.
And it's one thing I heard from Sean Tolley and from Steve Rao from 60 Cycle. I mentioned to him, it's like you have to get a good mix. And I was talking to Steve about it as well because I know he does it at his church, but he's like at a church where he's there every week or every time he's going into a situation he knows. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, oh, get good in-ears. And so it has to be able to block things out. And he's like, he was mentioning, he's like, I'm very particular about my mix. So he's like, I'm changing it almost all the time. Yeah. So he's like I turning things up, turning things down, da da da. And he had mentioned that he's kind of, if you could hear everything and it sounds good, it doesn't matter as much to him. But he's like, he could said like, oh, it could be, you could see why people wouldn't like it. And
so almost he plays bass. He's not singing, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So But you can hear everything. You can turn things down that you don't want. And he's mentioned that his drummer plays with the drum shields and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's getting the good sound in, but he's able to turn things up and down as he wants. And I think unanimously, they all said drummers would love that because and Brian does. He likes it, but also Brian is also a guy he knows from setting up and tearing down and being in a punk rock band. Go, go, go. The less is more. So he's like, in-ears would be great, but probably let's start with just always bringing XLRs in case there's bad ones. And you kind of have your shit locked in with that Sans amp, always going there at a DI and whatever stage amp you have. They don't need to go out of there. You just go out of the Sans amp.
Yeah.
Having that last in the chain is kind of the best.
I had him go through the amp because the cable he was using was missing the little dongle, that little lock-in, tooth. I was like, that might fall off on the front of the stage. Mm-hmm. So I like wrapped it around.
He just had shitty cables.
Yeah. So I wrapped it around the handle and then put it in there so there's no weight on it.
Got it. Oh, that's smart.
I'm like, all right, well,
hopefully it stays in there. And then, mine was a shitty cable. So it's like, okay, yours, like you kind of have that locked in.
Yeah.
For the Sans amp, and all your bass amps have a XLR out, which is, DI out, which is good.
Yeah.
A Sans amp is probably easiest go to. And then for me, I don't have that option. I always have to mic it. I don't have any outs on my Fractal. My Fractal is not amp, cab sim type deal. So I have to rely on mics. Wherever we go, miking.
Poor boy.
And so it's fine, but I'm like, okay, we know everybody's fucking different. So like to me, that solution is going to be that Torpedo Cab M. The new one that came out has an XLR out.
Just put it on top of the...
I would, put it on top.
And so they can just direct off of that.
Yeah, because it's not a load box. It sounds like I'm doing a commercial for it. It's not a load box.
It's not a load box.
It's just taking that load and it's not, it has to go to a hey now, your face. That load is hitting the back wall.
You call it a load box. I was like, is that what you call yourself?
It's, yeah. Anyway, so... It's dirty jokes. It's
you're not going to cut that out.
It's I still have to get I still can get my stage volume speaker, which I like the idea of that because we're a band. We're a bond.
What a bond.
I'm like,
what a bond from
we're a band that needs to have the stage volume because you couldn't ever just go DI for bass. It'd be like really weird not hear anything. And I couldn't just go DI for guitar. I just need to hear something. So anyway, I'm thinking about, in-ears and stuff like that, but it probably is going to be starting off with just improving the signal I give to front of house. Yeah. Because if I can, give them a 2-piece jigsaw puzzle, you guys, here you go. You got to put that last piece together and you guys have it. Then
good luck with that, fellas.
Yeah. Then
let me know if you need help.
I hope that we can just set them up for success. You let them, don't be there, they're not there to ruin things for you, but it's like you don't want to make things complicated. So in-ears, I think would complicate things a little bit more. But I did some homework and I was just watching videos and it's fun and it's interesting to see how these things go down. That might not be a thing for us, but maybe if we start getting bigger and getting paid for more shows, that, maybe we would move to that. But I don't know. It was like from the outside looking in on what in-ears could be. And I'm like, it's kind of cool, but I'm like, I know we've played so long without ever being able to hear ourselves that we can get by. So
that was the longest topic I think we've ever had.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get nerdy there.
Except talking about Johnny Ray.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Ray talking about Johnny Ray.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a long one, but I thought it was fun. It was good. Let's.
I feel educated.
Okay, so long-winded that topic, but I thought it was partially educational, partially like just me. I watched YouTube, so I'm going to talk like I'm an expert.
You educate me on something, I might buy it next week. Yeah. Be careful.
You're just like, I bought a whole setup. I took that alone. I have an in-ear setup for my garage. Wireless setup.
Yeah. Talking about a garage player or a bedroom player.
So it was last week. I posted on Instagram just a stupid thing in our stories. Like
everything you do.
Okay, good one. You should try posting more on Instagram. Maybe that would be smarter. Anyway, so I posted a picture just like of like in like an anime meme or whatever saying, hey, we're recording tonight. We don't have any topics planned. Last week's episode went off without a hitch. We've planned it out, made it go. It was not really a call out for topics. It was just something to post. And I'm like, I wanted to post a picture of Rika from Love Live Sunshine. That was what it was. But people kind of, a couple of friends messaged us to be like, hey, why don't you talk about this?
They thought we were friends in need.
But we will eventually need topics. So,
yeah.
But I figured not to ignore these. I didn't want to ignore them. So I'm like, hey, it's like they're our buddies and they gave us some topics to gab about. So I wanted to hit up a couple of these. These were from the Instagram. So they call out, non-call out for topics. This first one, we only had two. But the first one comes from Gun Street Wiring Shop's Sean Arbo.
Oh, yeah.
So he posed this question for us. If Brian were to start playing competitive video games, would he be a big trash talker, winning, losing, or the quit and throw his controller when the lag hits, quote unquote?
Oh, man. I think you'd be a combo of both. You'd be trash talking when the lag hits and throwing your controller.
Yeah, and then like
you son of a bitch. There's no way that you're 12 years old.
It's like the worst one. Like, the worst parts of both of those things. That's what I would be.
Yeah.
When things don't go my way. It's a fucking glitch. It's a fucking glitch. This game sucks.
That's how I am. Like, did you see that lag? It lagged right there. It lagged right there. It happens though. I'm
the game lags, so it fucks you up.
Oh man, sometimes it lags. Other times, smooth as butter. Boom, headshot.
Lag is a drag.
So yeah, I don't know if you'd be throwing controller actually, but you'd definitely be making excuses.
Have you ever thrown one of these controllers?
No, never.
Because they're like fucking $50-$60, right?
Yeah, I would never do that. I've wanted to. I've never left my hand.
I've never thrown a video.
I've dropped them.
Yeah, I've never thrown a video game controller, but I remember when I was a kid, my dad would. He'd break the N64 controllers. He'd break this SNES one. He'd just smash them on the ground. He's like, damn it.
Why would he do that?
Intense moments when he would.
Oh, what was he playing?
Mario.
64?
Mario Kart.
Oh, God.
64, and then Mario Kart regular one, and then Super Mario World. Yeah. It was like he would break them, but and then he'd be like, gotta
go buy one.
I would buy another one.
He's putting the bacon on the table or the bread.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Bread and butter.
And then our buddy Train would always bust those things. Yeah. And so it got to a point where his grandma was only buying him the cheapest, like off-brand ones. Yeah. And they were the shittiest ones.
The ones that were clear?
Yeah, no, they were the ones that were like, they were the N64 controllers that didn't have like the wings,
the wings.
The whole handles. It was like the one where it's like a box kind of that you're holding.
It's like a cardboard box.
No, it was like you couldn't.
It's chunky.
Yes, it was chunky. There was no wings, and it was not ergonomic at all. It's like, God damn it, dude! You have the shittiest fucking controllers because he broke them all. So we just get the cheapo, like Blockbuster off-brand ones, whatever you could get, and like that. Yeah. So I've never thrown a controller, and I don't think I would, just because I know how much those things cost, and I tend to take care of most of my equipment, so I don't think I'd break games.
No. Take the CD out and snap it in half.
Oh God, no! Damn, you'd have to get really mad for that.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to turn off. Oh, you son of a bitch! It's too long.
That was so like not climactic. Show that game.
Gotta go buy it again.
All right. Well, here's the. Next question, or the other question that we had from Derek at the Tone Control.
Oh.
He said, bing, compressor pedals. Do you use them?
Does he not listen to the show?
Or why not?
I use the shit out of it.
Well, guitar.
Oh,
we all know for bass you use them.
No, fuck no, dude. I own one. I own like other than my bass one, which isn't really even a bass one.
Yeah, other than the Serpents.
Other than the Serpents, I have that DoD compressor. Oh, and also the MXR, the custom comp.
Yeah.
I don't really need them.
Don't like them, don't need them?
I don't really need it. I got the custom comp because it was a
Good deal.
custom shop.
Yeah, and you're like,
It's a custom shop compressor. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah, it was. It was
it's still the same 2-knob one as the Dynacomp.
Yeah,
and
I
you're
know.
like, oh, did you guys improve upon
I
this at
think
all?
it is different though.
Okay.
It's got to be. Don't they make a Dynacomp script like, "Oh, this sounds
Yeah.
better"?
I don't
Or
know,
this
but it's
sounds
a
like
custom
vintage.
shop, so it's got to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played that one only here, and I was just not impressed with it. But also,
Yeah.
I kind of don't. I don't know. I have one.
Seriously?
I have one compressor. I like it. That's fine.
I don't even I use the bass compressor correctly sometimes.
Yeah.
If I pull it out of the bag and the knobs turn, I won't use it correctly.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, I just
But
like it.
these ones I plug them in, I'm like, yeah, what's it doing to my guitar tone? Oh well, I don't know.
With bass, I like it just like barely there.
Yeah.
Like kind of just making this. I don't know. I like kind of just kissing the signal, and then with a compressor for guitar, I like it like the squashy, like
Metal.
on clean. No, I mean metal. Like the distorted amp or pedals are going to compress the signal anyways, but with the compressor, I like to put it on the clean or like kind of a edge of breakup amps, and then like I don't know, just squash the signal to make it really, and it makes it more sparkly kind of deal. And I'm like, that's how
Spanky.
yeah, when I really only use it when I have like do arpeggios and like kind of like picking lines. Not like I don't do chords with compressor because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really into that type of sound. But when I'm doing like single note things, and it's really only like single, it's not even like doing like solo type runs or anything like that, and or like bends where I'm trying to make those pop and everything more even. It's like really just when I'm doing like picking like out of chord lines, like think of like the type of shit of like Adam song or What's My Age Again from Blink-182. I kind of want that super clean, just bright, just bing bing bing. You can hear every note, and it like will carry, it'll hold out the notes because it's a lot of like with those type of arpeggio, like I call them arpeggio picking lines. The chords ringing out or like the notes ringing out are what make complement everything else. That's kind of how I write those lines. I'm like, oh, and a compressor helps with that. But even on, I have compressors, which they're fine in my Fractal, and I can add them on to every scene if I want. I never need them live because my amp is kind of distorted enough as it is, and I'm like, compressor's not really going to help with that. But in the studio, I do like a compressor. I use the for guitar at least. Bass, I like to have it a lot. I feel like it really helps the signal. But for guitar, SP comp, exotic, totally fine, super easy. Has 3 knobs. Do you want low compression, medium compression, or high compression? And then here's your volume, and here's the blend of how much of that compression you want. Man. And that's done. It's super
it comes
easy.
with compression socks.
Yeah.
Just get you covered.
And that was that. I don't know. That's kind of it. So I do like compression on clean and only in the studio. I don't really use it live. I don't see a point. Maybe if we do start playing cleaner live, maybe. I don't know. But I'm like, I don't really see a point to it much. But yeah, those I didn't want to like ignore those questions. I didn't call out for them, but I appreciate you guys. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Thanks for
thanks for providing the fun.
Yeah. So we had one last thing you wanted to bring up.
Probably should have been a what's new.
It should have been probably the opener of the show.
Yeah.
Fuck the in-ears.
It floored the fuck out of me. All right, so I think it was late night. Went to let me set the scene for you. Late night in Austin. Drove to get some food just for the next day at a Walmart. Mm-hmm. And this is like a super Walmart, which we don't actually have here.
Those do not exist here in San Diego.
They don't. I think it's something with the zoning or with like legislation. They weren't able to get them in.
Too much dopeness in one area. There's like, we can't have that.
Happened to walk. There are a lot of new things. When I'm in a new town,
Shocking the system here.
Yeah, there's things you never seen before.
Yeah.
Let me break you into it. For example, jalapeno flavored M&Ms. What the fuck? I've never seen it.
Yeah. All right.
It said Mexican jalapeno. Like they can't be from Arizona or
so they're Mexican
what the heck?
ones.
Anyways, it was interesting. I didn't buy them. But what really got me was the cereal aisle.
Yeah.
Like some new all brands that you know.
Yeah, but just
not in your cereal bowl though.
Different offshoots.
So maybe I'm just getting old and I'm Well, that's weird. Why are these damn kids?
Back in my day, we had these. We had to like walk the cereal aisle, like crouch down and get the bags of cereal.
We had to pop open a barrel full of oats. So Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's not even like chocolate's already like pushing that boundary of cereal.
This is kind of like a fucking treat. Like, Sour Patch Kids, I don't like sour. I don't like the fucking...
I don't like kids either.
Yeah.
Or the patchiness.
But I'm like, no, Sour Patch Kids, that's fucking gross candy, and they made it into a cereal.
Yeah.
Oh, God, kids are fucked nowadays.
They're screwed. Chicken and waffles, also from Post. These are like major brand.
Post brand chicken and waffles.
It's not just like an off brand. Chicken and waffles. So I'm sure it's probably maple syrup with
chunks of chicken in there.
Like salmonella chicken.
Chicken jerky.
Yeah, what would be I don't even know what the chicken flavor would be. It's probably just the breadedness.
I don't know. God damn.
Chips Ahoy. I mean, I'd never seen it.
Oh, Chips Ahoy, yeah.
Chips Ahoy.
Because they had Cookie Crisp back in the day.
Which have you seen that in the supermarket lately? Ever?
I don't ever walk down the cereal
supermarket.
I'd never walk down the cereal.
Also, they had Cookie Crisp. That's also on my list.
Yeah.
And not that like, oh wow, it's just like, where have you been all my life?
You got stomping on each other's toes with the Cookie Crisp.
I don't think
Chips
I've
Ahoy.
ever had Cookie Crisp.
It's garbage. Not
Is
good.
it?
I thought I was
like
so
dry
fucking
and
dumb. I thought they were legit little cookies when I was a kid. And
They're not?
No, they look like cookies.
Oh, well, I'm sure.
Fucking.
Maybe Chips Ahoy. We gotta try that.
Yeah, there you go. They take Chips Ahoy cookies, and here you go.
Maybe.
How many kids would fucking just be like a fucking beach ball if they actually had that?
All right, so the Nilla banana pudding, like the Nilla wafers. Yeah,
in a cereal.
In a cereal.
God damn.
I mean, I can't be that bad.
No, but I'm like, who has that for breakfast?
You're playing the same.
Jeez, you gotta have
Nilla wafers for breakfast.
Yeah, damn, you gotta have a bong hit transplant to eat one of these.
Chocolate toast crunch. So this is
cinnamon
from
toast.
Cinnamon, yeah. This is the cinnamon toast.
So it's like Jesus Christ, yay! You know, you had French toast crunch. That was a thing too, right?
That was, and I haven't seen that in like probably 20
I remember
years.
when we were kids, we tried it, and I'm like, man, this fucking sucks. And then
they also had French toast crunch.
It's okay. Jeez.
Christ. And then, so in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch family, they had churros. So, Cinnamon Toast Crunch churros.
Isn't that kind of just the same thing?
It is the fucking same thing.
But they're
just
shaped differently?
in a different part of the world. Yes. Cinnamon sugar on some bread.
We got more sabor with this one.
Sabroso.
Yeah.
And then there was like Cheerios, different variations. One I'd never seen before is the chocolate peanut butter Cheerios.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Sounds
that sounds pretty
really good. Then they also just the regular chocolate Cheerios, which I've seen before, but not in this big ass box. Mm-hmm. It's family size.
Oh, and you did see a regular sized box of Life cereal.
Yeah. Instead of like an 8 ounce or 5 ounce or whatever.
Or like how it's like thinner, shorter, like Life cereal, which I always wanted when I was a kid.
The box was small and it was like way more expensive. It was like $2 more.
My dad would be like, no, that's not a good value.
Yeah. This was like a 12 or 14 ounce box.
It was just like,
that's like standard.
Regular standard size box of Life. That's crazy.
Another one, Pop-Tart cereal. Never seen that. And it's not even like the Go one. It's the strawberry one.
What do they even look like? Let me see this picture here.
It's just like little, like they're filled.
Okay, yeah,
You've probably seen it.
It was like those, yeah.
And then there's Dippin' Dots cereal.
I didn't even know that brand.
It's cookies and cream one, if you're wondering.
Good.
Yeah, I've seen Dippin' Dots.
Are they just like throwing brands on just sugar?
I think so.
High fructose corn syrup balls, and they're like, yeah, this is a Dippin' Dot.
And then like the honey made like thing you make, like you take to a campfire and make
graham crackers.
Yeah, they have s'mores, so they have pre-made little
s'more cereal,
like stacks, like in cereal, in milk.
Dang.
So you're gonna pour pre-made s'more stacks in. I don't know if that's what you call
s'more
them.
stacks.
S'more stacks.
It's a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. Yeah, and then just weird, like, man, that's my cereal rant, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like
if we want to continue into breakfast foods, they had a whole bunch of Pop-Tarts I've never seen before.
It's just too much.
They had the chocolate peanut butter Pop-Tarts.
Oh man,
like it was a special edition, but they said it's back. Like I've seen it before.
Like kids nowadays, parents lock up your kids.
Yeah, fuck, man, it's crazy. Everything's bigger and I guess better and sugarier in Texas.
Maybe there's other parts of the U.S. that have all these
I bet
crazy
it's just
cereals.
Alice County. There's more.
Yeah, maybe just.
I probably could have just gone, 100 miles and found this shit.
Yeah, geez. Maybe we're just. Everybody says,
sheltered.
"Oh, you guys have the weather and the beach and stuff like that here." Well, we don't have the cereals.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have.
So
everything.
think before you speak.
Yeah, we're pretty
you
fucking
ignorant fuck.
destitute over here.
we don't have it all.
On this, I'm dropping some knowledge on this fucking mic.
Jesus, we're pretty rowdy tonight.
Ah, dang! So we had to bring it back after the in-ears sesh.
Yeah,
let's hey, sometimes it's we could be educational, but sometimes we're even more educational and dropping some real knowledge that people can use, like this fucking cereal rant.
Yeah.
All right, let's reel it in here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. We love you for it. And if you guys love us, you guys can, follow along on the show on social media. We have Instagram at the Tone Jerks, and we have a Facebook group. Just search the Tone Jerks, and you guys will find it. And if you guys want to leave us a review or a rating on iTunes, that'd be great. If you guys write a review and it gets published, we will read them on the air and give you a shout out.
If I can read it, if it's in English, yeah.
Actually, yeah, if you guys do one not in English, we haven't had one of those. Yeah,
we'll translate it, and it probably will sound really bad, but we'll do our best.
So that'd be great, and it would be much appreciated. I want to say they're helpful because, they
to us, but not to anyone else.
I don't know if it's like, the ratings.
This is information.
Help, get the word out on the Tone Jerks. But if you guys really like what you hear, you guys could help support the show on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, but for $2 a month, you get something.
$2.
Just $2 a month, you guys get an extra episode every week. We're, giving you the good stuff. And just for, the little donation there, we're going to give you a shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle has got a list of hot names. Give it to me, baby!
All right, so I did something different. I switched all the names around, okay? Not a single one's in the same spot, okay?
So it's like a card, and you just shuffled them all?
Yeah, I just shuffled everybody. So
the dealer's choice now.
If you liked where you were, just send me a DM. I'll put you back.
Just slide into the DMs.
Just slide into my DMs. Okay?
All right, give me those names.
All right. We have Brett Alexander, Stephen Conradi, Doug King, Andrew Walsh, Michael Newman, Adam Rohr from the Let 'Em Hear podcast.
Oh, geez, these are all different.
Bruce Banana, Colin Smith, Doug Gann. I broke up the Dougs.
Yeah,
they were throwing a mutiny.
They were getting too comfy.
They were gonna overthrow. Yeah, stage a coup.
Fucking
so
coup.
had to put them on different sides of the room. They were getting too rowdy. All right, guys. We have Aaron Taylor, Jason Fuzzmonger, Abe Newman, Jim Bowers, Doug Christ, Joseph from Like My Pedals, and Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast. We have Johnny Ray. We have Jamie Davis, Sean Fahey.
Johnny Ray and Jamie.
It should be J Ray.
Johnny Ray, Jamie.
Should I try rhyming on another order?
Oh, you should make. No, fuck it. You should make a rap. You're like, it took you enough to write these down in a different order. I don't think we're gonna get a rap. Anyways, keep on.
All right. Sean Fahey, Steve Mike, Digger from Fat Foot Effects, Alvaro Viramontes, Brian from Nutter Guitars, Nicholas Payson, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast, Kevin Equits from Equits Guitars, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks. I put all those guys because they're like tight. And then last but not least, Matt Quine. Hi, Mark.